Hello everybody, welcome back to the stream. I've had a productive morning already. I just recorded the next code review video, so I'm going to try to get that edited and available within the next week or so. So that'll be fun, and did some other work on Alchemortis this morning. But now we're on the stream, so for the stream today I'm going to be doing some balance tweaks. I think there are some overtuned enemy cards, most notably the boss. So I'm going to be tuning those down a little bit and then just doing a quick couple of play tests to make sure that's all working. Beyond that, what I've been doing off stream is working on the Discord and the Patreon, getting those set up. Again, for those that are unaware, the plan is to launch the first devlog for Alchemortis alongside the Discord server, alongside the Patreon, and alongside the playtest. So all of that's going to be launched at once. Anyone who subscribes to the Patreon at any tier level will get early access to the playtests of Alchemortis, probably for a couple of weeks, and then the playtest will be open to the public. The Discord will have public channels, but will also have Patreon exclusive channels. And the top Patreon tier that I've set up will give you unlimited access to all of my course content, as well as having your name included in the credits for Alchemortis when it launches. So yeah, lots of fun stuff going on, but all that kind of has to be coordinated. So, you know, it's basically in place, and I think the playtest is basically ready to go. So really what I need to do is just get the first devlog made so I can release that at the same time as everything else. But yeah, there's a lot going on. It's going to be a fun launch, I think, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, for today's stream, like I said, we'll just be balancing stuff. But anyway, before I get into it, I want to remind everyone that Alchemortis is available for wishlisting now. So you can use the very first line in the description below to wishlist Alchemortis. And I also have my Udemy courses available for sale, so if you want to purchase those and support me, but also learn how to build games in the Godot engine, these are a great option. Those are linked in the description, so definitely check those out if you're interested. And all right, let's get into it. Oops, I still have my thumbnail editing up. Okay, anyway. Hello, RN Genesis, welcome back. Adam, always good to see you, welcome. Sempak, hello, or Kempak. Welcome to the stream, great to see you. Seppo, welcome, good to see you. Good morning, Emerson. Good morning. Hello, Newness Games, welcome back. Keep it. Yeah. Let's see. Hello, Meep. Another day more cinema. Yes, indeed. All right, let's see how it goes. I added a Discord button, by the way, to the main menu. So yeah, the first thing to do is probably we're going to tone down the boss a little bit. So the boss mayor projects fire, healing, and shielding. A simple shield. Oh, let's turn the shield down a little bit. Project fire to adjacent things. So we'll turn this down too. And heal will turn down. Okay, so that's good. And then there are other things like the bartender or the barkeep. Projected damage to tag. This projects damage to all minions on the board, which is a little bit wonky, I think, but maybe not. Maybe we can just turn this down. We'll keep that. Well, Maybe we should change this to adjacent. Project damage to tag. Where is this used? Okay, let's change this. Query directions. Whoops. We'll change the query directions here. So let's turn this here. And then we also need to store that and pass it in here. Okay, so now in the Medusa head, we'll do board inventory component, query directions dot entire board for the Medusa head. And then for the barkeep, we'll do board inventory component. Oh my gosh, what is going on? Query directions dot adjacent. That should simplify or make that a little bit less powerful. Okay, let's just go ahead and get right into giving that a test. I'm gonna skip the menu and skip tutorial. Hello, Brackhack, welcome back. Cool Modder Jaden, welcome, welcome, good to see you. How you doing? Snupbill, thank you for the IDR 10,000. Very generous as always, thank you, thank you. That's going right into the McDonald's bank. But yeah, welcome back, and we've got Yummers as always. Good to see the Yummers here. Pog. All right, let's go ahead and see how well I can do this. Oops. I should make escape close the inventory too. Maybe I'll write that down. Okay. What do we want to do here? Let's go grab the booster right off the bat here. Relic? I admire your work ethic, Firebelly, out here grinding every day. I'm grinding, yeah, that's for sure. Can I tell you guys that because I want the Patreon, the top Patreon tier to give you access to all my courses, it was a nightmare to get all of that stuff uploaded to a place where, yeah, it was just a nightmare. I couldn't use YouTube unlisted videos because YouTube could potentially put ads on unlisted videos. So I had to find a different video hosting solution that I ended up paying monthly for. But, you know, I get ad-free, ad-free video hosting. Why is that adding 0 shield? I shouldn't be doing that. And then I have to figure out how to actually make that course content available on Patreon. So, yeah, and then figured out how to upload all the assets and the links and stuff that go with the courses. It was a nightmare. It was a lot of work, but it's okay. It's all working now. It's all working now. Big Mac Bank. No, it's not a Big Mac Bank. You can set stuff inside settings, debug, and then in your code listen to those and skip stuff. Why did I not know this? Yeah. So welcome to the stream, by the way, Dennis. Yeah, you can add your own, go to project settings here, and you can add your own project settings by filling in this text area here. So I could do stream test high and add that. And there's a new section now called stream test, and there's a high option here. And you can just read that with the project settings singleton, which is really nice. That is an expensive booster, 1.48. Let's just go to the combat. We'll just go to the combat here. I don't like how it's adding 0 shield. That shouldn't happen. Let's turn up the speed a little bit. Is the Patreon Discord live yet? No, not live. You'll know when it goes live. I'll do a whole marketing push for it. courses will be on the Patreon. Very interesting. Yes, all of them. So I'm pretty sure that paying 1 month for the top Patreon tier will be cheaper than buying all of the courses through Udemy together, or at the same time. I mean, Fog of War is badass. How did you implement that? So basically the way that it works is, how do I describe this in an efficient way? So I have a black texture, a black rectangle that's drawn, and then for every point on the map that is revealed, I draw this gradient, this radial gradient onto the texture, and that creates grayscale, right? So it'll either be white and then it will grayscale out to pure black. That grayscale value is used to determine when the noise border should kick in. So basically anything that's pure white is fully revealed, and as it goes out away from white, that's how the noise comes into effect and creates that Fog of War border. And then everything that's below a certain threshold, like, will just be rendered as completely opaque, so you can't see anything. That's in a nutshell how it works. I was considering getting the multiplayer course, but maybe I'll do the Patreon. Yeah, that'll work. That would be appreciated. Also, there's other benefits to Patreon too. So while you're subscribed, I will post my new YouTube videos to Patreon early. And of course, hosting them on Patreon, there will be no ads, so you can have an ad-free experience. And then also, if you subscribe to the top Patreon tier, like I said, you'll get the option. You can opt out if you want, but your name will be included in the Alchemortis credits when the game launches. And also, you'll get access to like the exclusive Discord channels and everything like that. How can I make cloud lights thunders using particles in 2D? I don't know. That's a good question. I feel like that would be very difficult to do. But yeah, I don't know. I don't have any experience doing anything like that, so that would be something that I would have to figure out myself, actually. Yeah. Let's see. Weapon cards. I'm gonna get rid of that heal and put that there. Okay. I have a pretty powerful board already. This is pretty nice. Cool. Keep on going, I guess. This is actually a pretty strong combination I've gotten. I've got shield, which is helping me a lot. Although this board might actually pull this out. Hold on, let's see. Nope, never mind. Okay, should we go to the shop? The shop would require that I loop back around this way, which may not be ideal. Oh no, I guess it does. I can go down here first and then up. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go to the shop. And then we'll see. We got a candle here. What do I want? I need some health. Maybe I'll buy some health. Let's just increase health by the max. Oh, why did that cost so much? That seems wrong. I just spent 50 currency. Bug. Max health purchase seems to be taking 50. I just got cheated out of my money. That's okay. We'll keep going. Upgrade. What do I want to upgrade? Let's upgrade this. Let's maybe go for some alchemy. What do I want to alchemize? Let's alchemize that and that. And why not? We'll throw that in there as well. Heal 6, apply 1 poison. Heal 6, apply 4 preserve. That's fine. We'll take that. Do some more alchemy. I don't know. I kind of want to alchemize this with this. That might be risky, but let's see. Deal 10 damage. Deal 10 damage, heal 9. Okay, do I want to take the heal or do I want to take the shield? Maybe I'll take the shield. Enchant. What do we got going for enchants here? Echo. Put Echo on that. Upgrade a card. This is actually a pretty powerful card, so I'm going to upgrade this now. Nice. Another shop. This was pretty much useless because I don't have any money. Another alchemy. Oh no. This is not going well for me. Let's do alchemical cards. Ooh. Got a big squid. Got the alembic. The hellspawn egg. Another booster here. Let's do relics. I don't have anything on the board that's applying poison, do I? Let's sell that. Do I want to keep the Gorgon head? Let's sell this. Make room. Make room. Oh, I don't think I can make room. We'll sell the alembic too. Okay. Here we go. There's a friar. All right, let's see. Dang, that giant finger does a lot of damage. Very cool. Oh, looks like we're going into the boss fight. Let's see what happens. Okay, this looks like a more reasonable boss fight. Let's see what happens here. Oh, I'm still dying, but that's okay. All right, very nice. Okay, 2 menu. Nice. Okay, that felt pretty good. Maybe we'll just, I guess I should have kept the game running. We could do another test of that. Doesn't know something, yeah. Does the game let you travel on spaces you've already visited? Yes, but it incurs a flat 0.5 notoriety penalty. So you do incur a little bit of a penalty for going to nodes you've already visited, but... Hello, Johan, welcome back. Been tuning in from time to time, but this is the first time I actually see some gameplay. Besides that, everything might just be a bit too dark. I actually think I'll be liking the gameplay. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what the playtest, looks like. I think part of the issue is that if people are watching on... like mobile devices, the brightness may be turned down. It looks totally legible on my PC monitor, so... But there may be ways to correct that. I could maybe just add like an in-game brightness slider even, which may help. Good morning, Eric Grove Art. Welcome back. I'm almost done with my jam entry for Brackies. What a lot of work. Thanks again for your courses and instruction. Could not have even attempted it without your help. You're welcome. Glad to hear that. And yeah, good luck. Good luck getting the game finished. Hope it goes well. Might help from a battle background. Could be art or maybe something with a shader like Balatro. Yeah. Hello, Ben. Welcome back. Hamanchu, good to see you. That's a lot of non-combat right after each other. Is that a no-op? I don't know what that means. You have the potential to gain some power with every node that you visit, but I think you do have to be careful with how you move through the map to make sure that you don't have any no-op nodes. I've learned so much from your course, and now I'd like to create my own game. The problem is I'm really bad at art. Do you have any advice? I have a pixel art tips video on this channel that you can watch if you want to do pixel art, which may help you get started with art. But beyond that, yeah, that's basically all I can say about art. Good morning, Cody. I think there's some pixel art courses on Udemy too. Yeah, that's true. What's the notoriety mechanic? Sorry, lots of questions. The notoriety mechanic is this bar up here, the 0 out of 15. So when you hit 15 notoriety, that's when you get thrown into the boss fight. And notoriety is each node adds notoriety. It's randomly assigned. So there are going to be some nodes that are more expensive than others in terms of they add more to your notoriety. So like here, this is 0.58 and 0.85, and this one is 1.1. So it's like almost, it's actually way more expensive to go down this route here than it is to go down this route. However, I want the artifact, so I'm probably going to go down that route. But yeah, can't even imagine how to approach making a game with so many skills, items, and overall data. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, and you can definitely, if you don't have a lot of experience, it can definitely go haywire very quickly. But that's the thing, you need the experience, right? So you have to do it if you're interested in making these kinds of games. I think there's a tutorial on pixel art on this very channel. Yes, there is. Yep. Oh, no. Oh, I see. OP. Is that not OP? I see. I don't think so. I'm trying to make the game such that, like, I want the player to feel like they're getting overpowered, but without necessarily being able to steamroll the game. That may be a balance that I haven't yet struck very well, but we'll see. Hello, Nuja. I'm a new Godot game dev, and I had a question about how components work. I'm used to interfaces in Unity, and I'm trying to understand how skilled devs in Godot does it. Only components? I have a composition video on this channel if you want to watch that. Might give you some answers to that question. Hello, Asutosh. What's this game about? Check out the Steam page. It's linked in the first line in the description. That will tell you basically everything about the game as it exists currently. Thank you for your interest. Hello, Fox Shadow. Welcome back. The best thing about the pixel art tip video on here is it's very much from the perspective of a non-artist breaking down learning pixel art systematically. Yeah, and that was the goal of the video. Like, I'm not, at least I wouldn't have considered myself an artist when I first started. And those tips were genuinely the tips that helped me get better at pixel art much quicker. Is pretty much all the game data built on Godot resources, or do you use JSON, maybe spreadsheets for ease of balancing? It's all built in, well, actually, the actual abilities that the cards have are written in code. The only thing that's defined in resources is like what the card size is, what the art is, what's the flavor text, what's the display name, what's the turn cooldown, that kind of static data. But for the ability data, I'd have to, if I wanted to assign like abilities to cards, I'd have to create unique resources for every ability and map those to the ability scripts and all that stuff. And it was just easier for me to just create card scripts. So like this card here is the barkeep. And all the card script does is in the constructor, it just goes ahead and adds the abilities that I want the card to have. So that stuff is not configured through resources. To me, it seems like fighting is a risk you take where you might die. The other tiles always seem to give something good without any real risk. So there's a couple of things. You can't get any currency without fighting in the combat. So that means that the shop and the health upgrade nodes are going to be useless if you avoid combat. And those can be big power-up moments, right? But the other thing is that I don't think combat is actually that risky, because when you die, you don't die for good. You have an opportunity to resurrect by sacrificing some of the cards in your inventory. And when you resurrect, any damage that you applied to the enemy stays. So the enemy doesn't heal up to full when you resurrect, they stay at the... So let's say that you have your build can only do 60% of the enemy's health before you die. Well, that means that if you resurrect, you're guaranteed to win the encounter after that, right? So yeah, I think that there's... I'm trying not to make the game super punishing, because if you go into a combat that you think you can win but that you can't, that's what the resurrection mechanic is for. Because it would feel really bad to be like, okay, go into an auto battler combat, lay out your board and then realize, oh no, I configured it wrong and now I'm dead, right? That feels kind of bad, but if you have an opportunity to resurrect and try again without losing all of your run progress, I think that feels much better. So yeah, but like all this stuff is subject to playtest feedback, and we'll see what people say. Gonna check it out. Did you saw the resource bundle proposal for Godot? That could be helpful for this kind of game. I did not. I might have to look that up. What is the resource bundle in a nutshell? Hello, Marcus. Welcome. Good morning to you. Thank you, Breckheck, for the $5 super chat. Very much appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. It's very generous. Love seeing the progress on your game. Here's something for the Mickey D's fun. Thank you. Thank you, Breckheck. Very generous. I appreciate that. I appreciate it very much. Okay, let's just go in and keep playtesting here. Do you guys want to hear the music again? What's the lead time for this game? I don't know exactly what you mean by lead time. That's a little bit too marketing speak for me. Are you talking about the like how far out the game is from full release? Is that what you're asking? What inspired you on the theme and mechanics? Hello, Alex Define. I played the Bazaar when the beta was out, and I really liked the format of how that auto battler system worked, and I particularly liked all the different events that could happen, where you could like go to a shop and you could sell things, and like not every encounter was a combat encounter. The thing that I didn't like about the Bazaar was that it's a sweaty PvP game where like eventually you just get to the point where everyone has these super amazing powerful builds that you have no hope of beating. And I was like, well, this, you know, an auto battler is not a new genre, right? It's been around for a bit, but I was like, man, I could take some of these ideas from the Bazaar and wrap them in a single player roguelite formula and further differentiate myself from things like backpack battles or backpack hero by just adding, first of all, a unique theme, a necromancy, alchemy, medieval science theme. The alchemy system, I think, is the big hook of this game, where you can like modify the cards that you have by alchemizing things together. So yeah, that was basically the inspiration. I'm not usually much to talk in chat. Hello, Jonathan, welcome. Just want to say I finished your multiplayer course and really enjoyed it. Have some experience, but wanted to learn how multiplayer works in Godot and found my answers. Awesome, glad to hear that. Very happy. Thank you for purchasing the course, and I'm glad you enjoyed it. Release date. Yeah, release date should be early next year. I think the ambitious release date is by the end of the year, but I think early next year is probably more realistic. Because there may or may not be a Steam Next Fest happening at some point in 2026, at the beginning of 2026. I don't know for sure. But I think if it does happen, that would be a good opportunity for like a final marketing push. You know what I mean? It's basically a way to bundle resources based on the same scheme, and there would be dedicated place to edit them, similar to Excel. Oh, very nice. Very nice. Hello, Ariane. Welcome back. I'm doing well. How are you doing? It would be great for managing all the items or skills in game. Yeah, that does sound useful. We want music, please. All right, let me turn the music on. I'll turn the music on after I'm done responding to comments here. Do you have any recommendations on services to use as a relay server? Yeah, I can't really recommend anything because I haven't personally used any relay servers. So yeah, I don't have much experience with that. Sorry. I want to know when I can buy it. Looks amazing. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, wishlist it for now. And if you want to, you can support the development on Patreon when the Patreon is available. Even if you subscribe just for a month at the highest tier, your name will be included in the credits. So that would be something for you to consider as well. Music is on. I feel like I'm in an elevator. I'm going to turn that off. Let's see. I think I have to go. Let's see. Mute that, and then I want to restart the music from the beginning, so I'm just going to open it up in VLC here. Firstly, I got to turn on the maybe gain 20 there. Okay. All right, here comes the music. I'm going to be quiet while the music is playing so everyone can hear it. Hold on, is this the right music file? I have like several versions of the music, so I just want to make sure that this is working. The track is called Bitter Life, Sweet Death. Pretty edgy, but I love it. Okay, here it goes. So that's the music, and the music will loop after that point. What do you think? What do you all think? Let me turn the other music back on. Absolute banger. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Time for game dev once again. Welcome, Jackie Daytona. Welcome, welcome. If a publisher with a focus on indie games and a track record of successful launches were to approach you, would you be interested in working with them? Yeah, I mean, I would entertain any opportunities. It would just have to, you know, it would be based on, you know, a couple of considerations. I wouldn't rule it out. I wouldn't say it's out of the question, but I also wouldn't like immediately say yes. It would have to determine, like, you know, it would have to be based on how good the agreement is and whether I think it's likely to make the game more successful than it otherwise would be. And So, you know, but yeah, I'd be open to it for sure. I'd be open to it. Friend understood the assignment. Yeah, he did a great job for sure. I get the Diablo vibes. It makes me want to stay a while and listen. Yeah, me too. Me too. Beautiful song. Yeah, I think so. Music feels very old Diablo or Diablo-like. I dig it. Yeah, Diablo was a big, obviously, inspiration. I think mostly it's the kind of moody guitars that are very reminiscent of Diablo. But it definitely sounds unique too. Like it has Diablo vibes, but it doesn't sound like a copy of the Diablo music, you know what I mean? I love it. Nice. Let me I'm gonna screenshot this so I can share your feedback with my friend. I think so my friend who made that is not a musician. He just wanted to take a stab at doing it, and I think he nailed it. So now we're gonna see if he wants to create some different tracks, particularly for like boss fights, so that way we can have a little bit more intensity for the more difficult fights. And then maybe beyond that, having different tracks for different phases of the game. Because again, the plan here is like, you'll fight this peasant villager faction at first, then you'll fight the peasant villager boss, and then after that, the enemies that you start fighting will become like the next faction up of the villagers. So I'm thinking like you've got the peasant faction first, and then the next faction will be why did that have 126? Anyway, and then the next faction will be something like an army, like a regular army. So you'll have like foot soldiers and bowmen and trebuchets and all these kind of like different typical like cavalry. That will be the next phase. And then the third phase of people that you fight will be something like the high cultural, like clerical class. So you think like paladins, bishops, you know, like these very high culture concepts. But yeah, still have to figure all that out. So it's a little bit up in the air at this point. Crusaders, yeah, exactly, Crusaders. They nailed it, yeah. 2 Venoms, interesting. I guess this guy can fit here. Maybe I'll purchase the alchemy and I'll try to alchemize this with this. Let's see what happens. Deals 6 damage, apply 6 fire, projects the ritual cards. Do I have a ritual card? Yes. Apply 6 fire. Let's do that. Perfect. Okay, we're going into the boss fight now. Sometimes this boss fight feels very easy and sometimes it feels very hard, and I don't know why that's happening. I'm just getting my butt whooped. Yeah, that's not even close. So that's like the major thing that I need to figure out still. Okay. So I'm not going to win that combat. Okay. Initial round. I think... Generate boss board configuration, base difficulty. Almost wonder if I should just remove this line here. I just need to come up with a better algorithm, I think, for generating boss boards. But we'll figure it out. Balancing this game is going to be a nightmare. It's okay. Final boss is Pope Gunforged. Yeah, I mean, I think the final boss is going to be some kind of like papal-esque figure. I would like to do multiple bosses for each of the tiers too, just to make it a little bit more interesting. Multiple potential bosses, I should say, not like multiple bosses in a row, but for the playtest where there'll be only any telemetry, balance for a game like that seems unimaginable without it. Yeah, I got asked this question yesterday. I think I might have to investigate something like that. Maybe not for this playtest. There will be multiple playtests of the game. I'll probably run a playtest like once a month or once every 6 weeks or something. So I can consider adding telemetry in future playtests, but for this playtest, yeah, I don't think I have time to do the telemetry stuff because I need to do a bunch of research and see what works and all that stuff. Love the music. Thank you, Marcus. Yeah, I think the music is wonderful. I need some cards. Give me some cards. Let's do alchemical. Ooh, that'll be a good one. I can't fit that guy on there yet. Maybe I can alchemize though. Do I want to alchemize? That's the question. Oh, I can't even alchemize that with anything. Oh, well, let's do this. YOLO. That's not that great, but okay. This is actually not shaping up to be that good of a run. We're going to try to recover this. We're going to try to recover it. Okay, this might actually work here. We'll increase the board size. Go here. Give me some more. Give me some weapons. That's fine. That. We'll sell that. Let's fight the lamb and the dog. Okay. How could a publisher reach you? Email. Yeah, admin@firebelly.com. That bug is annoying me. I gotta fix that. It's consuming more. Oh, wait. Does this error message still work? Enchanted card. Increases critical chance by 10%. Let's put that on here. Ooh, we can grab an artifact too. Oh, but I have to loop back. Do I want to do that? I kind of want the artifact. We're just going to take the penalty. 50% lifesteal. Would that be useful? Actually, let's take the Iron Gauntlet. That'll work. Okay, now we're hopping back. I don't have any money, so rip. Rip me. Okay. Another shop. Well, I might be able to buy something this time, though. I think I'll probably buy an enchant. That's going to probably make the biggest difference. Swarm, interesting. But let's take the crit chance again. Nice. And now boss fight time. Getting the sense this guy is a publisher? Yeah, maybe. We'll see. We'll see. For the witness, Jonathan Blow set up the game to take screenshots of it every minute or so. He would then analyze the screenshots for feedback. Oh, interesting. Interesting. That wouldn't be terribly difficult. I already have a screenshot functionality in place. Yeah, and the screenshots could be could be downgraded so they're not eating up a bunch of data either when people upload the screenshots. Hey, I won! Look at that. I recovered that kind of weird run. I'm away for a few days and you have a beautiful, great game in place. Thank you, Julio. Yeah, I appreciate that. Beautiful. Huge. So, let's see. Weapon. There we go. I can move those over. That's fine. Let's go to the artifact. I love the little click animation too. Ooh, noble pedigree. Very nice. Let's upgrade this. Increase board size. Go fight the combat here. Okay. Now the question is, let's maybe hit the enchant and then go around that way. I think that'll work. Ooh, echo. Can't go wrong with echo. What do I want to alchemize here? I don't think I really want to alchemize anything. See ya. Okay, we'll go to the shop. My first purchase is going to be free, so let's grab something. Do I want to grab the Iron Gauntlet again? Yeah, let's grab the Iron Gauntlet again. Then maybe we'll do another enchant, I guess. Converts all damage dealt to preserve. Interesting. We'll go for the critical chance though. I don't really have... Can't really spare any damage. Oh, we could do an upgrade. Actually, I'm gonna buy the zombie. I want the zombie. Minion cards. Yeah, good morning to you as well. The Sky One, welcome. I like the music a bunch, but MO is much more fitting for the main menu than for gameplay. Though maybe that was because it was fairly loud and upfront, which makes sense for showcasing. Yeah, well, I think it works as like background music for the actual gameplay. I want to do a different track for the boss music, just so that's different. But with the sound effects and everything in place, which I didn't showcase, I think it sounds really good. But again, like that'll be feedback stuff, you know. When the playtest is live, you all can leave your feedback about how it was. Go grab another free item. Ooh, a Viper. That would fit very nicely. Although the Skull Wand is... That is very attractive as well. So is this increased board size, dang. Let's do that. That's probably the best one to do. Problem is, now I've got this minion here. Oh, but this does more damage, so I can get rid of that. Incense, maybe I should sell some things. Grab the incense, I can put that there. I might as well throw this on the board. I'm trying to maintain only one minion so I can get the benefit from the Iron Gauntlet, which actually isn't providing me much benefit right now, but... Whoa, that is a tier 5 Stein. What in the heck, man? Okay, all good. Okay, this build is shredding now. Am I going to be able to do this? No, probably not. I was thinking maybe I can get over to that combat. I don't need to increase my board size because I don't have any cards to put on the board. So we'll go to upgrade card instead. We'll put this here. And I can grab another booster or go for health. Let's do health. And I might as well just increase my health by that much. And we'll go to the boss fight. Let's see what happens. Okay. Oh, yeah. Well, maybe not. Well, the boss is giving me a run for my money, actually. Nope, I won, though. Nice. Cool. All right, so we've got some things to fix here. Some bugs that I wrote down. So let's fix those bugs. I want to fix this health bug. I don't know why that's happening. Makes sense. Good stuff. Yeah, thank you. Okay. I'm going to take a quick 3-minute break, and when I come back, we'll address some of these bugs, and we'll continue playtesting. I don't know, I'm kind of running out of stuff to do on stream, to be honest. So it's going to be, I'm going to have to find something to do. Can't go wrong with adding more content, but we'll fix the bugs. We'll keep balancing playtesting and whatnot. Try to make it as good of an experience as possible before the playtest. Good afternoon, Defined Dottie. All right, give me just 3 minutes. I'll be right back, and we will continue on. Hello, I'm back. Main menu screen is looking really sharp. Thank you. Yeah. How does the alchemy cauldron action work? Why does it occasionally spit out more cards than you give it? It always spits out 3 cards. So no matter how many cards you input, it will always give you 3 outputs, and each of the 3 outputs is randomized. So the way that the alchemy works is that it takes the input enchantments from all the cards, it takes the input abilities from all the cards, it takes the input crit chance and crit multiplier from all the cards, and it jumbles those all together. And then it also takes the input card types, right? So if it's a squid is a potential output. If it's a skeleton is a potential output. So all the inputs from all the cards basically get all jumbled up and then spit out randomly as 3 different random outputs. And then you get to choose one of the outputs from that. So that's the way that it works. So if you put in 2 cards, you're always going to get 3 outputs. So whether you put in 4 cards or 5 cards or only 2 cards, you're always going to get 3 as the result. That makes sense. Hello V, welcome back. Always good to see you. Don't know if it's on the list, but a relic that gives you a random card from the enemy board after you beat them would be fun. You might be pushed hard to look for encounters for max reward. Yeah, that would be really cool. Yeah, I definitely want to have some kind of way for the player to acquire enemy cards. I think that would be just really interesting, but I don't know if a relic is the right way to do that, but we'll see. So basically it's just one giant smoothie maker. Yeah, basically, yeah. That's basically right. That's basically right. Okay, so we got to figure out what the heck is going on with the health purchase here. I think it's just being purchased twice, if I'm not mistaken. Oh. Right, I'm just doing it twice. So in the health event state machine, I'm taking blood here. We got to remove that. So it was just taking the amount of blood twice. This try take blood here will try to take the blood amount, and it will return true if it succeeds. Okay, I'm pretty confident that that's going to work. So we'll just say that's fixed. Fix health cost being doubled. Wait. Oops. I didn't want to commit those as separate things. I mean, it's not that important, but... Okay. Tweak boss difficulty. And then fix health cost being doubled. Okay. Cool. What's the next bug? Added shield can be 0 from Mausoleum Key. So Mausoleum Key, tag damage taken shield. Dynamic shield, so shield ability. Apply status. I could have sworn I had a way of preventing this from happening. Emit signal status applied. Oh. I think I just need to do this. We don't want to do any of this stuff if the status was not applied. The other problem is that if the incoming stacks is 0, but there is an existing status, it's going to be applied. So really what I think I need to do, let's not do this. If status.stacks is less than or equal to 0, then we're just going to return. We can get rid of this. So now we can do this. That's a little bit better. So we're just going to not apply the status if the incoming stacks is 0. That should fix that mausoleum key issue. But let's go ahead and test it. Test player cards. Mausoleum key. This game is just so, it's perfect. It's so edgy. I love the theme. It's just like, you can use all kinds of like, I don't know. It's just cool. I like it. 14-year-old me would be very proud. Okay. I just want to get into a combat so I can try this out. So now, none of those are applying anything, but as soon as I take damage, that should all be applied, yeah. Okay, I think I fixed that. Whew, that was some tough bug fixing. I'm exhausted. Make escape close inventory if not forced open. That sounds good. Let's do that. Drawer UI. Actually don't remember. So the hide toggle button is... How do I want to do this? I think I need to, yeah, let's do this. Private bool is force expanded. Is force expanded is equal to event type is not equal to null. If is force expanded okay, now collapse is force expanded equals false. Now what I can do in my input here, I think, public override void input EVT if EVT.is action pressed game constants action escape get tree get viewport no set input as handled. We're gonna do this and is drawer expanded and not is force expanded collapse I think that's all I need to do. Okay, I think that'll be fine. I don't know, let's see. Cute seeing you simp for your own game. I hope I can achieve that someday. Yeah, get to that. That's some good advice, right? Make your game so that you can simp for your own game. That's funny. Hello, Neozoid. Or, well, I should say, I already said hello to you. Still lurking, I guess. Sorry I'm that late. Did you see my email? I sent you a zip file. Oh yeah, I meant to reply. I didn't, there was no zip file attached to the email. I don't know if it got scrubbed or whatever, but if you want to try sending it again, that would be appreciated. You plan on releasing the game after Silksong or before Silksong? Definitely after. Yeah, I'm not going to have this game finished by September 8th or whatever it is. Welcome back, Interesting, aka Cat Hugger. Flags everywhere. Yeah, seriously. Making your 14-year-old self proud is a worthwhile pursuit. Yeah, seriously. I agree. What am I testing? Why am I running this? Oh, right. So escape will close that, but if I have this open, interesting. So I'm running into an issue now where this input is processed before this input. Can I change the... that's going to be a little bit tricky. So the problem is that this card mouse events manager is instantiating the card inspector at this level. Oh, I'm getting a phone call. 1 second, please. Okay, I'm back. I'm gonna have to take another quick break again soon. Pest control guy is here, but we'll continue on for a second. So the problem here is that this escape event is being handled by the drawer UI before it's handled by the card inspector UI because of the way that the tree structure is. So the problem is that when I have this card inspector open and I press escape, it closes the drawer first before it closes that card inspector. So, I mean, there's an easy way to handle that, which is just to add the escape to the unhandled input. I actually don't know if that's going to work either. I don't think if I change this to unhandled input, I'm pretty sure that that's going to bring up the pause menu instead. So I think the way that I've solved this in the past is I create a kind of escape handler component. Is that what I do? I create an escape handler component that can kind of like handle all the escape inputs, and like any dialogue that can be escapable gets registered in that component, and then it kind of just goes in order based on the appearance of those things in the tree, I think, but I'm not sure actually. Don't remember how that works. Yeah, so the unhandled input isn't working now because how am I going to do this? Oh, this is going to be a tricky one. I thought this was going to be really easy. So it's the tree order that's being a problem here. One easy way to do it, well, I actually don't know how I'm going to handle this. So this spawns the card inspector, just creates the scene. It loads it from the resource preloader here and puts it as a child of this scene here. I think that's what it does. Yeah. So I want that input to be handled first. I just don't know how I'm going to do that. I might be able to do something like GUI input, maybe? Is that what I want? GUI input? No, I don't think so. Emitted when the node receives an input event. I could listen for GUI input on like the margin container maybe instead. So let me just try that. So instead of this input here, let's actually just comment this out. Let's do I have the margin container? Let's just get a reference to the margin container. And if I do in here, margin container.gui input plus equals on GUI input. And then I go down here, private void on GUI input, input event EVT. And then I can do accept event or margin container.accept event. I don't know if that's going to work, but we'll give it a shot. Probably won't work if I had to guess. This game is simpleable. Firebelly the pimp with the swag. Oh my gosh. Okay, we got freestyle rap in the chat, everybody. Yeah, so that doesn't work at all, actually. How am I going to fix this? I think the only way to do it is to create some kind of like escape manager component, escapable component, and manage it that way. I mean, there's a hacky way to do it, which is to not handle the input if there is... Maybe that would be the way to do it. I could create a like an escapable component, add it to a group, and then anywhere where I need to handle the escape, I can check the existence of other components of that escapable group that are in the tree, and then I can have some sort of priority that says like, okay, the escapable that has the highest priority is the one that gets the event, right? That might be a little bit annoying to handle, but it would certainly be much more doable if I wrote like an encapsulated class for that. Coming to squash your game's bugs, I wish. Send it to you again if the zip file didn't come through. Okay, thank you. Appreciate that. Thoughts on refactor versus start over from scratch? Well, yeah, I think it largely depends on how far along you are in your development. If you have a very big game, you know, starting from scratch is obviously not going to be very productive. But if you have a relatively smallish game that's just rotten from top down, then, you know, starting from scratch can work. But I think refactoring should generally be applicable because in my experience, like, Usually there's a lot of places of the game that are fine. Even if they're not ideal, they're fine. They don't need to be rebuilt. It's usually just a couple of core systems. Like when people get to the point where the game feels like it's hard to work on, it's usually because there's like one or two core systems that are just not properly encapsulated, not properly modular. And so you can generally just focus your refactor on those couple of systems, and that will make your game easier to work on. But it's a case-by-case basis, so. But welcome, Horstev. Good to see you. Ali, good to see you. Welcome, welcome. I think I need to create like an escapable manager, to be honest. But I also need to add... I'm going to also need to add conditionality to it. Okay, well, add escape handling to drawer. We'll commit this as it is right now, but then I'm going to need to do this. Create escapable component to manage escape button handling priority. I've got two projects at the moment. One is a rebuild from scratch, and the other is going through mega refactors with some of the most refactoring I've done in a project this size. Both are fun places to be in, yeah. Yeah, I've been there for sure. Okay. Is this UI util? Yeah. Let's create a new file in here. We're going to call this escapable. Is that how you spell escapable? Uh-oh. Okay, no, we'll call this new file escapable component .cs namespace game.data.ui. Or no, game.ui .util global class public partial class escapable component. We're just going to make this a node. All right, so let's see. So escape pressed event handler. In here, I'm gonna need a priority as well. This should be private, I guess. Okay, then inside of here, public override void ready. Hold on 1 second. Okay, so with this priority here and the ready method, so we're going to add this to the group. This dot add to group using Godot utilities. So we've got the escapable component now. We're also going to want some kind of public void add conditional, I guess. I don't know. something like this. Delegate, conditional. Did I do this right? Man, I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, wait. There we go. I used the wrong casing. Inconsistent accessibility. Okay, so if event is action pressed and conditional invoke is not equal to true, or no, equals true, not equal to false. There's no argument that given that corresponds to the required component condition. What? Oh, this is too complicated. I did the delegate wrong. It's okay. We'll just do this. Mid signal escape pressed. Okay, so now we've got a little class that we can use for this. So now I got to look at every place that's using the escape key. Oh, that's a lot of places. That's a lot of places. Bugs in the game and bugs in the house, yeah. Bugs are the worst in both areas. True. Very true. Well, let's just use this escapable component right now to fix the immediate issue, which is we need to add one to the drawer UI. We also need to add one to the card inspector. I don't know if I'll go overboard and add it everywhere else. Maybe I should, but... So now we can add the escapable component here. Just put this right at the root, and we can say that this priority, I'm just going to set this priority up. Oh, we're not ordering by priority either. So what needs to happen is inside of this conditional, what we'll do is we'll check also, we'll get the other escapables. So we'll do escapables, this dot, no, let's just do this. Get tree dot get nodes in group. Escapable component dot order by descending x dot priority dot first or default. If we'll call this priority escapable, if priority escapable is equal to this or priority escapable is equal to null. I mean, it should always equal this, right? So we'll just say if priority escapable equals this, we'll do not equal to this. Return. Otherwise, we can emit that signal pressed and mark that input as handled. Cool. All right, so that should work, I think. I don't know, we'll see. So we got the priority there. Now we have to listen for that. So instead of doing the input here, shoot, node private escapable component, escapable component. What are they getting rid of, if you don't mind me asking? Well, I had carpenter ants outside that were creating a little bit of a problem. And then I've had mice in the house before, but I don't think there's any mice now. It's just they're just checking it. So it's just like routine maintenance. It's not like I'm dealing with an active problem. Mice are not fun to deal with. I had a episode a year and a half ago or so. My cat caught a mouse inside the house and brought it into my office. And so it took me like a half hour to catch the mouse in a bag so that I could take it outside and let it go. It's like, that's how I knew I had a mouse problem. Those cats, yeah, they caught one. I wish that was streamed. It was like right before I was about to go to bed too. It was like 11:30 at night. The cat comes trotting in. I'm like, what's that in your mouth? She drops it on the ground, and then this thing just skitters to the corner of the room. I'm like, oh my gosh. So then, of course, I had to figure out how to manage that situation. It was just, whatever. It's just how it goes. The joys of home ownership. I honestly, I would rather deal with mice than anything like cockroaches or bed bugs or termites. Mice are like, yeah, if I'm going to have a pest problem, I think that one's pretty manageable. Kitty's just doing his job. Yeah, that's hilarious. I'm glad I could entertain you all. Okay. So we got the escapable component here. Dot escape pressed plus equals on escape pressed. On escape pressed. Okay. I'm just going to create a private void dismiss here. This input here, play out. I guess I don't even need that. I can just do play out. We're going to need to change this input here. We'll leave that there, I suppose. Okay. Mice are everywhere doesn't mean you have an issue with the house. Yeah, true. True. Okay. So if it's playing out an event as action pressed, so that's going to handle the mouse click. But now what we need to do is this escapable component, I need to add a conditional not is playing out. I think that's okay. Let's just see if that much works. Kitty trying to teach you to hunt. Yeah, seriously. Hello, Real Crudo. Welcome back. I've never named a variable what. That's super funny to me for no good reasons at all. You know what's funny is that's what the... that is actually really funny. I've never really thought about that, but... That's what the Godot documentation recommends. Or that's what their example. So if I go to notification here, look, override notification what? I was just following their example. If what equals... But it's actually really funny. That is actually really funny. I've never thought about it that deeply. How is the game coming along? It's going great. Thank you for asking. Going real good. Okay, let's see if this works. It didn't work. Oh, that's because there's another... Right, it's still got that. It is working. The dismissal is working. Now I'm wondering... No, that's okay. Okay, anyway. So now we got to add the escapable component to the drawer UI. this priority, we'll just leave it at 0, I guess, for now. We can modify these priorities later, but it's now in here. Inside of this input now, so we're going to add this conditional. Escapable component dot escape pressed plus equals on escape pressed. I don't really like that signal name, actually. I might change that. Escaped. What? Oh my gosh. There we go. Escaped. Okay, now in the drawer UI. Okay. Private void on escape pressed. What was the input like? We just call collapse. Okay. And then I can get rid of this input handler here. Cool. All right, now let's see if it works. If I did everything correctly, it should work the way I'm expecting it to now. Boom, look at that. So now we've got controllable escape sequences regardless of where the item is in the tree. So that's great. There's a bunch of other places where I'm using the escape key, but I don't know. I probably should use the escapable, but okay. So yeah, I probably should convert everything else to use that escapable, but yeah, I don't know. Might be a little bit overkill at this point. But that works real good. That works real good. Maybe I should do it. Man. Okay. Let's see. I've got to do it in the pause menu. The run manager is a little bit of a different story, but I probably want to do it in the options menu and the pause menu. So I don't really have that many places. Okay, let's just do it right. Pause menu, add child escapable component. This priority should probably be something like 200. Okay. Node private escapable component, escapable component. Escapable component dot. Sorry, the pest control guy is messaging me. Okay. Escapable component dot escaped plus equals on escaped. Escapable component dot add conditional not is playing out. Private void on escaped. Dismiss. So that's the pause menu. The options menu is the next one, right? Node private escapable component, escapable component. Dot escaped plus equals on escaped. Escapable component dot add conditional not is playing out. Private void on escaped. Dismiss. And then we need to go into the main or the options menu and add that. And we'll make this 300. All right, let's see what happens. I'm glad I'm not the only actually laughing out loud to that. Yeah. I have took a little break from mines and made an auto-clicker game called Necro Tower. You have corrupted me. They're very nice. The army grows. The army grows. Okay, I think this is working. Everything appears to be working just fine. Now I could give it a quick test. Oh, wait. What? What in the heck is going on? Something's wrong. Oh, maybe not, actually. Maybe it's not wrong. I'm trying to figure it out. Wait, is it wrong? Oh, it is wrong. Is it handling the event? Hold on a second. Why is that happening? Order by descending. Oh. I set the priority to 300 here. Well, what I wanted to test is if I set this to like 105, I think what's going to happen is it's going to dismiss the underlying pause menu first. That should be the way that it works. Options. Yeah, see, it dismissed the pause menu. So this should be 300. But the problem, what is going on here? What is going on here? We'll just put a breakpoint here, I guess. Attach to process. Options. Ugh, what? Okay, I don't know if this is going to be super helpful. What? I'm kind of like confused what even is happening here. I need to, hold on. So I go to options. If I press escape again, huh? If I press escape again before, what's happening? If I press escape again before the options menu has dismissed, it opens up another pause menu. Oops. And that's probably happening because the escape that's spawning the pause menu is actually being handled at the run manager level. So what that means is that this order by descending. So the problem is that The next escape should be handled by the pause menu, but because the options menu is still in the tree and has a higher priority, it's detecting, oh, I shouldn't handle this. So I need to add another conditional here. So I need to do this, where x dot conditional dot invoke. I need to filter out anything that's an invalid handler. That's what I need. All right, that should work. We need to do like a super casual necro jam. Honestly, I think if I ever do host a game jam, the theme is probably just going to be Necromancer. It's just going to be Firebelly's Necro Jam, and each year it's going to be, you have to make a Necromancer game with this theme. Necromancy and chill. Honestly, that would be a great thing, because my big complaint has been like there aren't that many like really good Necromancer games. Like that's like a power fantasy that is like left unfulfilled to a large extent. The best Necromancer experiences are typically in like ARPGs where you can have like armies of them. But there are very few like standalone Necromancer / Summoner games, or games themed that way. And so, yeah, I think that there's a huge opportunity to use like a game jam as sort of like an incubator for new Necromancer game ideas, you know? I think that'd be really cool. Legit do his own jam because so many people is corrupted with Necromancy. Yeah, jam would be fun. Yeah. Looks perfect. Nice options menu. Thank you. Thank you. Seems like you could call another pause screen after clicking option. Yeah. I've done a fair amount of work on my current game, but I need to break because I'll burn out if I don't. But this game is looking great. Okay, now it's working, I'm pretty sure. Let me just make sure that... yeah, all of that is working too. Very nice. Okay, I finally got it working. Now let's go into the combat and make sure that I can't dismiss this one. Yeah, that's looking good. Okay, perfect. Perfect. It's because vampires get all the love, true. Maybe your game will bring back Necromancy. You might say it might resurrect Necromancy. Just pretend Pikmin are skeletons and there you go, yeah. I just feel like there's so many opportunities for cool games. Like, I mean, I could imagine a Necromancy game where like you're outfitting your skeletons with individual pieces of armor, right? So it's like kind of like an RPG where you collect gear, but instead of equipping the gear yourself, you're like outfitting your skeleton army. Or, you know, a game where you can make your own amalgamations, kind of like Spore, but like gluing parts onto things, and maybe it's like a wacky physics game, or even just something like a turn-based top-down strategy game, like with a D&D-esque rule set, where your party is just all of your minions, you know? Like, there's just so much room for cool Necromancer games. And then, of course, you could go fully in the ARPG direction where the game is just about having a huge real-time horde of minions, and there's just so many cool ideas to explore. Are you planning on having any sort of background art for the combat phases? Yes, I will. May even start working on that sooner rather than later, because right now, basically all that I'm waiting for in terms of getting the playtest ready is Steam has to do an approval process for the playtest build for some reason. So I'm waiting for Steam to finish that, and then I also have to create a devlog for this game because I want to sort of launch the playtest with the devlog, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I basically, like, the playtest build is basically ready. I just need to wait for a bunch of pieces to fall into place. But so while the point of me saying that is, while we're waiting for that, during these streams, I may actually attempt to create some background art. I think that would be kind of cool. So yeah, we'll see. Obsession with Necromancy tells me we should keep you away from graveyards, yeah. The funny thing is, like, I love Necromancy in, like, fantasy settings, but, like, actual, like, real life, you know, kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Starts with an M. Macabre. Like, real life macabre stuff actually makes me very uneasy. But in like a fantasy setting, it's like so cool, you know? So cool, dude. Yeah. Raid the graveyard and create your skeletons from the remains of long lost heroes. But then like real life, I'm like, ooh, don't show me dead things. I don't want to see it. Looks so impressive, man. I've been watching the game progress day by day for about 3 months. Thank you, Craig. I appreciate that. Thank you. I hope my game gets good traction once I have it the way I want. It's looking better every day, even though I keep changing all the art. Well, that's good. I mean, changing the art is not necessarily a problem, especially if you're still learning and you want to... Like, I've done that even in this game. Like, I'll draw a new card and it's like, wow, that card looks really good, such that my old cards look terrible in comparison, so now I gotta go back and redraw them, you know? But I don't think that's necessarily a problem, because if you're still learning, like I am, sometimes it's good to go back with what you've learned and just, like, spice things up, create something better. Macam, yeah. Is it weird that I'm actually simping on this game, though? I don't think... No, I appreciate that for sure, but... It's there's a lot of pressure because I can't drop the ball in terms of the execution, which is why, like, the game, I've said this before, I think the game has so much potential that I'm actually nervous that I'm going to squander the potential. And that's why I want to get the play tests like out early so I can get a bunch of feedback so people can kind of steer me in the direction the game is supposed to go. But it's kind of a lot of pressure because I don't want to disappoint you all. I don't want you all to be like, wow, this game looks so cool on stream, and then you get it in your hands and you're like, wait, what the heck is this? This sucks, you know? But it's been a cool experience being even a tiny part of the game being made and watching it progress. Yeah, I'm glad to have you all here. And yeah, a lot of viewer suggestions are getting added to the game, so... You hear that, everybody? All the lurkers out there, if you leave a comment about this game, it's possible your comment may get implemented, so something to consider, something to think about. Drop the ball impossible. Game looks better every day. Can't wait for you to have the playtest open. Yeah, soon. Playtest will give you a huge margin of error. Yeah, that's what playtests are for. Comment. Okay. Hello, Ninja Link. So anyway, I can show a screenshot with the update of my game art. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, because you can't share URLs in chat. I mean, if you want to just share it with me personally, you can send me an email, admin@firebelly.com. But in terms of showing it on stream, I don't know if there's an easy way to do that. You got to drop the ball to play ball. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. It's an interesting way of thinking about it. Okay, I think my escape woes are over. I hope. So now it should only be used in 2 places. Yeah. Cool. Add escapable component. It's kind of funny how something simple like making the escape key close the drawer can balloon into like a whole new feature you need to build. But it's not that difficult, so. My DMs open on Twitter? Yeah, they are, yeah. Quick, change your profile's picture to the screenshot, yeah. We will be brutally honest, yeah. I'm expecting that. Gotta play ball to get good at ball. My first time watching development of a game, and it's super interesting to see how it progresses. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. I'm glad you guys are getting some entertainment out of it too. Playtests are also nice because players will find combinations of cards that will break the game in ways you never considered. I always enjoy seeing how developers deal with that kind of stuff. Yeah, well, we'll have to see. I like I said before, I kind of want the game to feel like... I want that to be a common feeling. I want there to be a common feeling of like, there's no way the developer intended for this to be the case. And in a certain sense, that's true because I can't possibly hold all of the potential combinations in my head. But I mostly just say that to say that I'm not afraid of making the player feel powerful. Like, I want you to use the alchemy system to create a broken build and feel like you've created a broken build. And then I'm kind of just like balancing the game around the idea that, as silly as it sounds to say, I'm kind of trying to balance the game around the idea that the player is going to have broken builds, which means like, you know, the enemies might have to ramp up in difficulty a little bit quicker in order to account for the fact that for the most part, players are going to have very powerful builds. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that makes any sense whatsoever, but anyway, I'm going to get my smarty pants glasses and criticize every little detail. Rewilders is the game's name announced some time ago. Oh, Rewilders, what is that? Open world action roguelite. Was this in response to some conversation we were having in chat that I forgot? It looks good from the screenshots. Why is the scene tree order didn't help you in the input stuff? I don't get it. Oh, because my card mouse events manager is the thing that spawns the card inspector UI. This thing here. This card mouse events manager is an auto load. So if I run the game, and I go to the remote scene tree here, oh wait, never mind, I was wrong. The card mouse events manager is here. It's inside of the run manager, and this is where the card inspector gets created. The problem though is that now what the heck am I even looking at? Oh, the problem here is that, what? Oh, down here in the game UI, or the drawer UI rather, this is the drawer UI. So this drawer UI is deeper into the tree, which means that it gets input events first. So the problem is that even though the card inspector UI is rendering on top of everything, because of the fact that it's higher up in the tree, it receives the input events later than the drawer UI. So when I pressed escape, the drawer UI was being closed before the card inspector. So we had a disconnect between what visually was being represented on screen, which is that the card inspector is on top of everything, and then what was being handled first in terms of the input order. And that was entirely due to the position of everything in the tree. The only way to fix that was either the approach that I took or to move the card inspector creation somewhere else on the tree so that it could handle the input first. But I decided to create that escapable component because it gives me finer control over which order things accept the event in the input event. It's going to be hard to balance in a way that allows broken builds but challenging enough to be fun. Maybe. I think it's possible to have because broken build doesn't necessarily mean that you just like, well, at least to me, it doesn't mean necessarily that you just instantly destroy everything. What it means is that it creates something that's obviously very powerful, even if it's not, powerful enough to like make you kill a boss in like 2 turns. You know what I mean? But maybe I'm wrong. I hate when people discover broken builds and how's it fixed is taken away from them. Yeah. Is this a roguelite or a roguelike? I don't even know. I don't know what these different terms mean. Probably roguelite is a better term for it, but sent an email since I need to upgrade my Twitter to send messages. Oh, let's see. I can pull up your art on stream if you want me to. Uh-oh, I got some spam messages. There's an overdue payment under my name. The Trojan virus on my operating system is going to brick my computer if I don't pay. Where's the crypto address? Yeah. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. I didn't get your email yet, Real Cruda. Good, yeah, you're welcome. Or you didn't say thank you, but there's a preemptive you're welcome. That is fine with me, hoping I sent it the correct email. What was the admin@firebelly.com? Make sure you add the EY at the end. I had no idea what the difference is between roguelite and roguelike. Yeah, I think roguelike is more used for games that have that kind of like turn-based combat, like the original Rogue, where you're like moving around a map and like, you've got, you're moving grid cells, 1 grid cell at a time or 2 grid cells at a time or whatever. And roguelite is more of a term that's used to just generally indicate a game that's meant to be played as like a single run with some kind of meta progression and quote unquote permadeath, which just means that when you die, the run is over and you start again. So, but honestly, I mean, I don't really like that term either because then every board game is a roguelite. Right? Which doesn't seem right to me. Like, you could say every single board game in existence is a roguelite. Like chess is a roguelite game. Oh no, the computer. Yeah. What was the... Oh, it's son of a bee, yeah. If I found a genie, I would wish that all the money my spam filter says I have is true. That's a good one. That's a good one. Roguelites have some kind of progression system between runs. Yeah. Can you type that out? Sure, yeah, let's see. Admin... That's my impression as well. Did you look at my latest one of the logo different size? My laptop froze, so I'm not sure if you did or not. I have it in the email. Yeah, I'll have to take a look at that. I'll take a look off stream if that's okay. Roguelike, no progression between runs. Every run is based on skill and luck. Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. Meta progression between runs. You can upgrade your character, unlock skills, and so on. It make the next run easier. Yeah. In the game Rogue, when you died, you lost everything and started from the beginning with no meta progression. A roguelike keeps those rules, and a roguelite lets you get stronger between runs. Yeah, so I think that's right. It is kind of a weird term, but that's how language goes, I suppose. That's how language goes. All right, well, we're at the 2-hour mark here. There's not really much to get started on the Steam, or not on the Steam, on the stream right now. Cool, yeah. So I'm going to end the stream there. Fixing to get myself some McDonald's, we'll see. But yeah, I'll be spending this afternoon. I, again, recorded a new code review video, so I'm going to be spending this afternoon editing that so I can have that out as soon as possible before the big launch of Alchemortis and the playtest and everything. So keep an eye out on all of that. I would appreciate that. And again, Alchemortis is available for wish listing. It's the first line in the description below. So check it out, wishlist it. I've already got like 150 plus wish lists from you guys, so that's very much appreciated. Thank you so much. And yeah, we're getting very, very close to the playtest. I'm optimistic that, let me see. Let me take a look at my calendar here. I'm optimistic that the playtest will be available the week of September 8th. So yeah, assuming everything goes well, that should be doable. But yeah, thanks again, everybody. Appreciate your support. Thanks for chatting. And I will see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern. We'll find some new content to work on or something. Have a good day. And yeah, see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.